But before that, we have been to the cinema this week for the big, huge release, which was Wakanda Forever, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, or Black Panther...
Sprung for IMAX.
Black Panther 2. Yeah, we went IMAX 3D, which was amazing on the old eyeballs. But we'll get on to our journey. Quick little synopsis. Queen Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku Okoye, and the Dora Milaje fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together with Nakia and Everett Ross to forge a new path for their beloved kingdom. So it's brand new out, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and it was a little bit of a special occasion because for the first time ever, myself and Cockney John brought along a very special podcast guest. You have heard a review from this man before. Halloween Ends, and actually he got a lot of positivity, people saying we want to hear more.
He did.
From Adam's old man, aka Big Mike, my dad. So we're going to play you, without any spoilers, we're going to play you right now Big Mike, my dad's review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Hi, it's Adam from Adam and Cockney John's Big Movie Podcast. I'm once again bringing you an exclusive review. Just been to the cinema, myself, Cockney John, and my dad. Yes, Big Mike is back after his shocking debut reviewing Halloween Ends, which only received 0 Indiana Joneses. We are back. We've just been to the cinema to watch Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2. So I'm going to hand over to my dad now. Big Mike, what were your thoughts?
Evening all. Well, I was totally underwhelmed. I went in there with great hopes, really enjoyed the first Black Panther, and I was a little bit, at the end, disappointed, I have to say, and I think I'd struggle to give it any more than 3 whips. Felt it was very slow moving.
It's not 3 whips.
Why is
it's
it not 3 whips?
Indiana Jones.
Oh, 3 Indiana Jones. Yeah, right. I've got whips on the mind, it's getting late.
Oh, that sounds absolutely filthy. But we have to say one thing, don't we? It was a very nice memory of Chadwick Boseman, and I thought the send-off for him was done classily, wasn't it?
Absolutely. So well that the film actually missed him, and I think that's part of the problem. They've done that very well, but I think you feel that you've missed him in the film. It does miss him.
Yeah, it's obviously big shoes to fill, but I thought in parts, obviously my review will come, but yeah, I think Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther, will always be Black Panther, and yeah, so it gets 3 Indiana Jones from you.
Yeah.
So there you have it, Big Mike, Wakanda Forever, 3 Indiana Jones. It is worth a watch, it's Marvel, it's good action in there, the special effects were good.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what the only thing that got it to 3. Because without some of the special effects, I think I'd have been marking it a lot lower. Disappointingly, I have to say, I really am underwhelmed.
But let's focus on the positive. It was much better than Halloween Ends, yeah?
Yeah, and maybe it should have been Black Panther Ends.
Don't be saying that. Right, so, Big Mike, say bye to everyone.
Bye-bye, and enjoy when you go to the cinema.
Cheers, thanks, Dad. Okay, so there you have it. Big Mike rates it 3 Indiana Joneses.
No, he didn't.
And before...
He rated it 3 whips.
3 whips.
I'm not having it. He rated it 3 whips.
You're not
it's
letting
100%
him But before
whips.
we get on to the ratings, actually, we put up the poll. Do we think that Adam and Cockney John's Big Movie Podcast should do half ratings? It was overwhelming, the response, and I think you got your wish. A lot of people saying... Give Cockney John his wish. He doesn't have much. A few people were saying, and
I especially like the one that said nobody wants a desperate Cockney John.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll grant the wish. We can now do half Harry Stampers, half Sandy's. Whenever Isla does a film, we can give half Ariel's, and obviously Big Mike can have half Indiana Jones's. But Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, you've just heard Big Mike's review there. I will take the floor first, just by starting off by saying, I thought Ryan Coogler, the director, the whole cast. I thought they did a fantastic job in honouring Chadwick Boseman's memory. I thought it was done very, very well. It was quite emotional to say goodbye to him in the film. Obviously, we've already lost him a couple of years ago. But my personal point is, I'm a huge Marvel fan, to the point that I've actually started right at the beginning with my daughter. We're going through the Marvel films now, and we are actually going to do a throwback to one of the early Marvel films in our throwback later on in the ep. But I went in very excited, middle of the week, hump day. It was IMAX 3D. It was, I was buzzing. I couldn't wait. The first Black Panther is an absolute masterpiece. And yeah, I have to agree with my dad. It was just a little bit of a letdown. I thought action-wise was brilliant. Performance-wise was great. I just thought it just felt like a bit desperate. It didn't really grab me. I mean, we don't, no spoilers here, but it kind of felt like James Cameron had been filming Avatar 2 and had a few extras, and Black Panther were just a bit like, do you know what? We could do with some blue people as our baddies. And it just fell ever so slightly flat. There's some great moments in it. And I, I'm still a fan. But I think the major issue it had was that Chadwick Boseman is not in it. It's as simple as that for me. I think I said to someone at work today, I said, it's like the equivalent of, God forbid, Harrison Ford making Raiders of the Lost Ark as Indiana Jones and then sadly passing away after that, and then them making another Indiana Jones, but it's not Harrison Ford. You couldn't imagine it, could you? It kind of felt like that. But yeah, so for that reason, I'm going to throw my rating out. I am going to agree with my dad and give it 3 Harry Stampers because I like the action. There's a couple of laughs in there. Performances were great. I like the music in there as well. But I think, in terms of Marvel films, we've had some amazing Marvel films, some average Marvel films. I think this, unfortunately, probably falls into the average category. So I'm going to hand it over to Cockney John, and he'll give you his view now. But before he does, the general experience of the cinema on Wednesday was a little bit of a letdown, wasn't it? Because we forked out for IMAX 3D. We were really excited. We had great seats right at the back, perfect. We started off by getting nachos combo, and the drinks machine was flat.
Pick a mix for your dad.
Oh, that was funny, wasn't it? So my dad's like a 6'5", 20 stone monster of a man, and he skipped. He kind of just said to the sweets. He said to the Odeon worker, like, "Excuse me, do you go and get your pick and mix, or do you have to buy it before you get it?" And then my dad walked off because he had to go and buy it before he got it. But Cockney John got it in, good shout. And I said to my dad, like, the biggest, oldest guy in the whole cinema is asking about the pick and mix. It absolutely creased me. But then we got into the cinema, and then a guy and his girlfriend came and sat 2 seats next to Cockney John, and they were so unbelievably annoying. And now, if you're listening to Adam and Cockney John's Big Movie Podcast right now, and you are someone who actively talks and shouts out during movies, turn it off. Go somewhere and punch yourself in the face, because I cannot stand you. You can go anywhere. Go to a pub. Go to the food court and have a chinwag. Why pay your money to go into the pictures and sit there gabbing throughout the film when people are just there to chill and watch it? Absolutely.
And what is it? IMAX? Shops. 18 quid or something a ticket.
Exactly. 18. What? So they've paid 36. Absolutely.
32,
in the cost of living crisis,
32.
They paid 36 dubs to sit and chat and be annoying. Anyway, rant over. Cockney John, Wakanda forever. What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, bruv, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, my problem is, don't get me wrong, like, honestly, the stuff to Chadwick Boseman, I wish I could have watched that without having to sit through the film. because like it was really nice to see how the Marvel team, show their respects to someone
tribute
that they've lost. Yeah. And the way they did the Marvel sign for the film
amazing.
Was possibly that's the bit that really got me. That really got me. Unfortunately, the special effects weren't enough for me, bruv. Like, nowhere near enough. The story wasn't there. That's all there is to it. The story was a bad story. It was boring. I watched the entire film and still have no idea what the bad guy's called because I just didn't care. He's got wings on his ankles, for God's sake. He's not a baddie. Nothing about him was a baddie. It was just like, it was a real run-of-the-mill, I've got loads of power and I don't like the world.
Yeah.
And now the good guys are going to come and stop me. That's it.
That's another thing we've got to mention as well.
You can get that in any episode of Banana Man. You don't need to watch this film.
The film is 2 hours 40 minutes long. That is a commitment. Like, you can't, if you've got kids, that's a 2-night job. That's an hour and 20 each night. You're not going to really sit through that home for one night unless it's a weekend or you're a legend. It's it's just it's a shame.
I wouldn't do it to my son. I wouldn't even suggest it to him because I don't think it would be fair.
Well, we always say, don't we, like when you come out of a film, the first thought is, will you watch it again? Are you up for watching it again?
Yeah.
I always go back to
never.
Top Gun Maverick. Well, as soon as I came out of Top Gun Maverick, I was counting down the days to watch it again. With Wakanda Forever, I came out and I remember saying to you, I said, the only time I will watch that again is when me and Isla are up to that point in our Marvel journey, when you have to watch it. No, it's a shame.
See, for me, that's one you could skip. There's no point. It was awful. It was not a good Marvel film. I'm sorry, and it's so sad because the actors were incredible. Like you said, some of the fight scenes, it really took me back to the Woman King. A couple of the fight scenes, incredible. But I'm sorry, 3 or 4 minutes of a good fight scene. I watch wrestling every week. I don't need this film. This film didn't need to be made.
Okay, lovely positive ep so far.
That's it.
So go on, ratings.
Right, so my ratings are essentially, do you know what, I've been arguing myself, 1 or 2, and for me the extra point comes from Winston Duke and Baku.
Yeah.
Just absolutely great character. Was the character you remember from the original Black Panther. That's the other thing. All the characters are so different because they've had to change so much because of the tragedy of Chadwick Boseman passing. All the characters are now different people. They're completely different characters. So you're not going to even go there and see the same people that you saw in the first film because they've had to change up what they're doing and what their role is in the film. And the only one that was the same character that I remembered from the first film was M'Baku, and that's it.
Right. So you're rating it 2?
He smashed it.
2 Sandys.
I'm gonna give it 2 because of Winston Duke, and I'd love to see
a standalone.
I almost think that would have been a better way of moving the story forward. Would be to leave Chadwick Boseman's family and to follow M'Baku and his people in the film.
I can't believe.
And they still could have done the tribute, but I think it would have made a much better film.
I can't believe
with a character that we know.
That I spent my time putting up a poll, and people took their time to vote and comment to get you your half stars. Yet you've not used a half. It's
because his part is worth a star, and if I'm going to use it as a reason to change my score, then it has to be the whole star.
Fair dues. So there you have it, guys.
So he was 1/5 the best. Well, no, he was 50% of what the film was to me.
Right, shut
And
up.
unfortunately, he wasn't in it that much.
Shut up.
It's rubbish film.
Right.
Don't watch it.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is out right now. Obviously, if you're a big Marvel fan, you will find things in there to enjoy. I think in the grand scheme of things, it's a great send-off for Chadwick Boseman. It's a great tribute. But I personally think the biggest and the toughest thing that it had was the fact that Chadwick Boseman wasn't in it. So God rest Chadwick Boseman's soul. Obviously, rest in peace. Absolute legend. The first Black Panther. He is. The fact that he has defined that character after, you know, he had a little role in, I think it was Captain America 3, and then obviously his standalone film, to be that, you know, well respected and regarded as that character, that just shows what an unbelievable job he did.